This is Brother Ron, and welcome to We All Be News Radio and TV, the news-free Dixie for the 21st century. Ambassador Young, it's an honor to have you on today.
Okay.
I want to talk about why are you here in Memphis 50 years later? What is the unfinished business of the movement?
The unfinished business was that Martin Luther King started to redeem the soul of America from the triple evils of race, war, and poverty. Well, the one that we have just started struggling with is poverty. And Operation Hope with John Hope Bryant has been working with the First Tennessee Bank and SunTrust Bank, and people have been working on solving their financial problems, getting their credit scores in line, becoming part of the free market economy. In capitalism and a democracy, you know in a democracy if you don't vote, you in some form of slavery. But if you don't understand money in capitalism, you are more than likely to be a slave economically. And I think the film that we did was called The Color of Money. Just a good title, I think. But the color aspect was that it's not black or white, it's green. And in our film, we see people struggling with their money problems, regardless of what color they are, regardless of what their educational background. That it's important to understand the meaning of the economy and to respect money and to understand it. Just like it's important to understand democracy and to get out and vote.
Well, it's like with Dr. King, you know that often when Dr. King said, like we integrate into a burning house, were you talking about that we didn't focus on the financial issues? Was that his meaning?
No, I think that what he was talking about then was that we were integrating into a house where the values had not been clearly defined. That he was also opposed to war. And that was said probably at the time of Vietnam. And one of the things he said also was the bombs we drop on Vietnam explode at home in inflation and unemployment. That the period of wars got us behind economically.
Could this financial program y'all promoting and advocating, could this be a form of reparations for descendants of slaves, African Americans?
Well, I don't think so, because I think that everybody has an opportunity to be free. If you're waiting for reparations, you're going to be a long time waiting. Ain't nobody going to give you anything, and that's one of the things we're trying to say. But you can get it on your own. See, I know there are 3 people who are friends of mine who are very, very wealthy, and they were always arguing about who started out the poorest. And all 3 of them started out with no indoor plumbing. See, one started out with a shoe shine stand. But he saved money from the shoe shine stand, and he bought some land for $150. And he built a house on it that he rented out and paid his way to go to Tuskegee and became a multi-million-dollar billionaire. So there was one of his white friends borrowed $500 on his mother's furniture and bought some chairs and tables and started renting them out for parties. Mm-hmm. And he became a billionaire. And the third one was an architect who got into the military and got a V-12 scholarship to Georgia Tech. And he ended up owning 14 blocks of buildings in downtown Atlanta. Mm-hmm. But they wouldn't let him into Georgia Tech because he was white, but he's from the wrong side of town. Mm. And he had to go to the Navy to get into Georgia Tech back in the 40s. And he just passed. But the message, I think, of Operation Hope is that you cannot give up hope and you cannot count on anybody else to look out for you. We will help, but you've got to take charge of your own life. Nobody can make you save. Nobody can stop you from spending stupidly. But we can help you. We can work with you. And the message that's important to me is that you have to vote and you have to understand money.
I want to add one more.
Last one, because I got
yes, ma'am. I got to ask you about the voting, significant voting, also about the Stacey Abrams and Kemp situation in Georgia. What's your thoughts about that when the votes might not count or may not count?
Well, your vote always counts. It may not count in this election, but Stacey Abrams is a young woman you're going to hear from for a long time to come. She's the best candidate we've had for governor since Jimmy Carter.
Thank you, Ambassador Young, so much. We thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.